Welcome back to Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to jump straight into the content here. I wanted to touch on this one from Wheezy X. Hopefully it works here. Hopefully I got to refresh it. But it says, all you need to know about Ethereum right here. Have the disguised whales captured Ethereum? And are they getting rich off gas fees that you are paying by using backdoors within Ethereum? Hashtag ETHgate. Maybe that's why they're untouchable. They are untouchable. Listen in.
Now, I think shutting down is not the only risk you need to be worried about. The other risk you need to be worried about is capture. So
define capture.
Yeah, so basically, can a small group of actors kind of gain enough power inside the decision-making process to ensure that, like, basically things go their way, and especially if their way might not be aligned with the way that, you know, the community of the blockchain actually wants?
But a 51% attack, in at least to the usefulness of a network for Abra, is almost the same thing as having an off switch, because at that point the network is no longer useful.
Well, there's different kinds of 51% attacks, right? So, like, for example, you can do a 51% attack that just makes the blockchain break, but I can also do a 51% attack that censors all transactions, except for those transactions where the transaction fee is at least $100.
Yeah.
And if I do the second one, then that's something that makes the blockchain still kind of useful, and maybe people will just keep on paying the $100 and it'll be super profitable for me.
The other thing that, like, I've talked to the...
Just that alone makes me sick. I mean, think about it. We're not even talking about, we're talking about, like, that's proof of work, but what about even when they, you know, converted to proof of stake, right? Like, how does that all factor in, and what are the benefits to them? Obviously having, you know, higher voting power within the ecosystem, and, you know, obviously staking interest or whatever they get, the fees, or however the network works. You know, I'm not going to speak on all the ins and outs of it, but it's like, really? Will we ever really know everything? Obviously we know what we know within the community, but will it ever be investigated? Will the rabbit hole actually be searched beyond what we've been able to find and continue to find? Crazy.
The roll-up team said they all want to do next year is they want to start taking off training wheels, right? So the roll-ups and layer twos that exist on Ethereum today, they basically all have what I call training wheels, like some kind of backdoor that lets developers come in and, like, say stop and change the protocol if they see that some kind of bug is happening.
And maybe people will just keep on paying the $100 and it'll be super profitable for me.
Right.
That's the part that gets me. I mean, I want to say last year, the year before, one of these years that I've been investing, I've been in here since late 2017. I actually was trying to get involved in the whole NFT space, you know, putting some capital into there. Literally, like, a year passes and I didn't realize how much I paid in fees to be a part of that ecosystem and to utilize the Ethereum blockchain and get involved. And it's mind-boggling. I can only imagine what other people out there are spending. And I saw what I was spending, which was pretty significant, you know, per my standards when it comes to finances in this space. But it's crazy. They're stacking. If that's really what's going on, I mean, they're stacking money. It's crazy. Because people are going to partake in the ecosystem. People want to, you know, as they say, oh, they want to get rich and they want to, you know, achieve financial freedom and life-changing wealth and all that stuff, right? So a lot of people are trying to do it overnight, or they're trying to catch the next wave. And when it comes to these, Ethereum being one of the, you know, the plays that they try to create a monopoly in the ecosystem, you know, you have smart contracts and all these other, you know, projects and dApps building on this in this ecosystem. Of course, when it comes to all these new plays that these, you know, retail investors, like people like myself, or what you can say degens, they're all jumping in, spending the money that they got to spend to get involved. But not even realizing that, you know, when they really get into it, whether they keep losing or they keep trying to catch the next thing and the next thing, they don't realize how much they're accruing in fees. And these fees are getting paid out to, you know, we'll just say disguised whales. We'll just say that. Continuing on, DAI had put this up. It says, this is actually a false premise. So we're going to play the clip and we're going to listen in, or read into what he said here.
In a couple of those cases, right? I don't think they thought they were going to lose the Ripple case, because if Ripple wasn't a securities, an unregistered securities offering, then
the Coinbase claim now has no water. Like, whether we agree with it or not, what's a security doesn't matter. If their entire premise of their case against Coinbase is all of these unregistered securities, and that doesn't hold water for Ripple, it's over for them against Coinbase, at least on that claim.
She really said that they didn't know they were going to lose. I mean, they were taking L after L after L. It's been over 2.5, almost 3 years. It's crazy, right? Coming over here, DAI says this is actually a false premise. It's not if XRP is not a security, nothing is. It's if the Ethereum ICO is not a legal securities offering, nothing is. Of course, nobody seems willing to bring up hashtag ETHgate. It would shatter the ETH lie and expose the real bad guys. When Ethereum ICO 3-year lawsuit. When Ethereum ICO 3-year lawsuit. And what about those disguised whales from the ICO? Man, okay, clearly the SEC isn't going after the designation from Judge Torres when it comes to the judgment on XRP not being a security, but they were trying to get an interlocutory appeal when it came to the aspect of, what was it, why am I blanking on the name right now? Jeez. Institutional and investors, if you will, right? When they were investing in, they were saying that, that those are considered securities, right? So then when you think about the Ethereum ICO, what about all those institutional investors, or those venture capitalists, if you will, or as we say, the disguised whales? What happens if that really comes into play and there is an investigation into hashtag ETHgate? Who's going to be exposed? Who's going to get in trouble? Who's going to have to pay a crap ton of money? We're talking about a 3-year lawsuit. I doubt it'll happen personally, but it's an interesting topic. And I'd be interested to see like real brilliant minds, like legal minds, even like technologically savvy minds in the blockchain space, like really come together and really, in a sense, do their own investigation. I've covered on this channel, there's forgot the name of the X account, formerly known as a Twitter account, but I forgot what they're called. But they've been doing great research behind the scenes, trying to, connect the dots, and they create like infographics and diagrams. It's kind of interesting, kind of correlates and kind of validates what we've been saying in the XRP community as well when it comes to hashtag ETHgate. Moving on, I just want to touch on Alex Cobb's long thread here when he's referencing the Wall Street cheat sheet psychology of the market cycle, and he went into this long thread about XRP. It's saying, my honest opinion on the current state of XRP after deep value investing for 6 years. And then at the end here, that hurts. It says, in conclusion, I would just like to say we know what XRP does, why it has such great potential, and the amazing developments Ripple and XRP are making. But part of the frustration is the market doesn't see and understand the things that we do. Quote, the tide comes in, the tide goes out, but the sea level rises. And then he puts this out right here. He says 2,070 days since XRP all-time high of 384 in 2018. So effing overdue. And it just rockets out. We'll see. Matter of time. Edo put this up, says, boom, Ripple is taking over Swift. Former member of Swift joined Ripple and admit it isn't the solution for internet of value. Brad Garlinghouse calls Swift a competitor developed over 50 years ago, slow and expansive. So listen into this, like, I'm only going to play like 20 seconds of it.
Doing and executing on a day-by-day basis is in fact taking over Swift, in that we've now signed up well over 100 banks. Some of the largest Swift-enabled banks in the world are now using Ripple's technology. Just last week, we saw a remittance company who's using Ripple's technology. They reduced the price per transaction to their consumers from $20 per transaction to $2 per transaction, and they saw an 800% increase in usage overnight. That's the type of dynamic that Swift isn't able to support that we're able to address right now. And one of this former...
Showtime. That's what we like to hear. I'm not gonna play the. I'm gonna only play this segment of this clip at the end, just so you can. I think we've talked about this. What is this? Twitter Spaces or X Spaces thing, and you have David Schwartz, and he's speaking on, hinting, as you will, of potentially the next world reserve currency, or things in that realm. Listen into this.
Well, they might agree if the alternative is that their geopolitical rivals force some new replacement for the dollar that's not, if they just replace, the old boss with a new boss. If the choice is no boss, if that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they're going to see that as too much of a minus.
Yeah. Seriously, That's a great point. And there's this long thing. I'm going to try to shoot through as fast as possible because I think it's interesting. It says, this is from Burning Stars. It says, I'm not sure most people realize the importance of this video and how a confirmation of XRP will eventually appreciate in price. Not only did David Shore suggest it is very possible scenario for XRP to become a world reserve currency, but he clearly said that if it happens, it would make some people millionaires. So he basically is describing a case where XRP would be higher than it is today, logically much higher than it is now. It's actually very unlikely most XRP holders will become millionaires at less than $10 if you take the XRP rich list in consideration. Many won't even see their first millions before $50 or $100. Now, you can argue about how realistic this scenario is. Fair enough, but we know there is much more behind the scene than just the scenario, making the future price of XRP almost guaranteed to increase to some interesting all-time high. For many of us, this is not a single doubt. This is going to happen. It's a reminder for all people who fall for constant FUD by people trying to discourage them or discourage others. The nothing will happen people, the Debbie Downer people who are secretly accumulating while doing that, right? They tell you one thing, but they're doing another. You need to understand that not everybody has your best interest at heart. They want you to miss the boat. Wealth puts people's status to a different level. They enjoy dominating people and expose their lifestyle for everybody to see and create envy. They cannot do it. They cannot do that if everyone else has the same status. This is the reason why they don't share this information about the new financial system, not even to their close one. And even if they do, they are not too concerned about them missing the boat because this is an opportunity for them to say, I told you so, and gain respect. I didn't start with Twitter. Twitter allows us to access the kind of information more easily, but people always tried to discourage others before that, telling them to not invest in some stocks while they were packing their bags. The same is happening today. And because most of them now know where XRP is going, they will try to convince you that it's going to zero and has no future, or even if Ripple has a future, XRP won't increase in price. They will tell you to stop dreaming. They will tell you to invest in something else, Bitcoin or stocks. You get the picture? And even though I hold other coins, there is no other one with such a bright future, partnerships and making the crypto world going in the right direction. I'm telling you right now, I despise these people in the comment section. They sound so stupid, but when it comes to investments, they've always been there. They always been there, spreading their negativity and pseudo knowledge. I mean, absolutely, man. Hands down, that is solid. I mean, look at this. Uphold has a vote, still has 21 hours left, 1,700 votes. It says, which blockchain is leading the way in crypto space? Vote or leave a comment. And then you have Ripple at 86%. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana sitting under 6%. Obviously, Uphold's a big advocate and stood strong when it came to the lawsuit being dropped on Ripple and the XRP community. They stood strong and kept XRP. I'm reading Ripple right here, but yeah, they kept XRP on the platform, allowed us to accumulate during this whole 2.5 year process. So obviously, there's probably a little bit of bias here, but hey, people are seeing the writing on the wall. Even that you have maxis, Bitcoin maxis, haters that were once haters, now they're starting to realize how significant Ripple and the XRP community is and what lies ahead. Quickly touching on this, Ryan Selka says Coinbase buying back debt at a steep discount and co-founders repurchasing huge positions of shares, but market's still bearish. TradFi doesn't understand crypto. And then John Deaton says this seems significant to me. Yeah, man. We're at the tail end of the so-called bear, right? We've been quoting some of the TA guys in the community that we follow, and they've been talking about us being in phase one, if you will, of this next bull cycle. So it's almost showtime. Alcy Prosper says Binance is in trouble. 1, SEC lawsuit. 2, DOJ charges may be imminent. 3, high-level departures like Chief Strategy Officer Patrick Hillman, Senior Director of Investigations Matthew Price, SVP for Compliance Steve Christie, Asia Pacific Head Leon Fong, and most recently Mayor Kamat, Head of Product. I don't want to add any FUD, but the facts aren't looking good. On top of this, Binance is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, which linked to Tether, which holds $72.5 billion worth of U.S. Treasury bonds. This may be why the DOJ was split on bringing in charges last year and why the SEC is holding back on BTC spot ETFs. We all have to wait and see. Keep watch. Oh, boy. Gary G-Man Gensler says, you forgot Jim Cramer bullish on them too. That's the main one I'm worried about. And then Mark Hawk says with the eyes, and he says, Anders says, yeah, it's over. They talking about the inverse Kramer. Last one right here. Watcher Gruber says, just in Grayscale asked SEC to quickly approve its spot Bitcoin ETF. And then this, I thought this was comedy. So Salazar.eth says, what do you do with the what to do with the BTC ETF? A, approve. B, delay. C, reject. D, ETH is a security. people are comical, man. It's crazy the stuff people come up with. And the cool part is Chairman Gensler, all the memes and all the shade that I've been seeing in regards of like pictures or infographics or even just solid like posts have been accurate, man. I mean, he literally made that whole saying, you know, you make your bed, lay in it. Literally, man, it's crazy. I thought that was comedy. When I first read it, I was rolling. We're currently sitting at a $1.08 trillion market cap. Bitcoin sitting at 25,826. Ethereum sitting at 1637. XRP sitting at 50 cents. Bitcoin Fear Green Index sitting at a 42. So we're still in the fear, man. Still in the fear range. And there's been people speculating about October doom and gloom coming. We're almost there. We're a month away. So we'll kind of see what happens. Been hearing talks of black swans and all types of stuff, man. It's part of our market though, so we'll kind of see what's up. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. And it's not Twitter, it's X. Gosh, I got to get used to that. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.